Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I need to get my sawmill moved up into the Quonset hut. But there's a problem with that. Now that it's on the trailer, it's almost too long to fit the way I had it, and I'm looking at a couple different options. I'm basically going to have to rearrange that entire building. And to do that, it means I need to completely deal with my slab wood accumulation. And I normally only do maybe 4 or 5 cords a year of firewood. It's not my main thing, but I'm thinking I'm gonna focus on it a lot more this year. And I'm gonna get more firewood out of the slab wood than I would have ever expected. So let's go up there and get started. It's pretty frustrating trying to weed eat if you let material get this thick and the stalks get too big and you can't cut it with regular weed eater line, or you're constantly replacing the line, and that slows me down from getting out here and cleaning this mess up. So I picked up one of these blades that goes on the weed eater, and they've got like 3 different levels of how aggressive they are. Well, it can be like a full sawmill blade for cutting, you know, saplings and stuff. But I went with like the least aggressive version, and I'll put a link to these products in the description of the video if you guys are interested in trying this. I don't think I'd want to use that blade for all my weed eating, but for junk like this, it does pretty good. Building this slab rack is one of the projects I've done that I thought turned out really well. I'm fairly proud of how that went, but it's a little bit shaky actually. And my original plan was to have this board here and then one along the bottom on both sides, and I just didn't get around to doing that because now this wood is so hard. It didn't suck down real tight, and these aren't exact, so it's a little bit shaky. Plus it's only held in the middle. So I think adding another rib to the bottom is going to help a lot. And I've got these like 2x3 or whatever they are. A little less than that. But anyway, I've got these random thickness boards here that are offcuts from other projects. I'm going to put some of those along the bottom here and kind of stabilize it. I also took an extra board and put a mark 16 inches in and lined that up with the outside here, so that if I make a cut here, anything that overhangs should be 16 inches. If when I load the rack, I just use this as a sight point, line my edges up here, it's like making the rack bigger, which is why I only made the rack 8 feet long, because I can do that on each end. And with just a little bit of measuring, I can actually have the end hang out as far as it needs to. That was a heavy son of a gun, and I debated if it was worth it to try to dump that pile on here, but the ends weren't straight, so it wouldn't have done as good a job of getting my 16-inch pieces off of here. Might have been worth it though. I gotta contact Mowing with the Breeze and ask them when they're making their air-conditioned chap units. I could go for that. If you didn't see my video on building this rack, the reason I've got double boards at each cut point is so that this wood doesn't fall out. It doesn't bind the saw that way. I don't have to bend down to pick it up. All right, guys, give me your thoughts on this. This right here, that's just a good solid piece of firewood. Dry, it's oak, not too bad. But what I've got when I'm giving bundles or doing bundles of slab wood for firewood is a mix. So this is some walnut, and in this case it got left outside some. That's not ideal firewood. But I'm not sorting it. I will be selling a third of a cord. Here we call that a rick. Some people call it a face cord. Whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be selling a third of a cord in a tote. Now, firewood prices vary based on location. Let's say around here a rick of wood is $70. What kind of discount would you give on this, or is it full price? And in case I wasn't clear on it, the reasons I would discount it is, number one, it's a mix of wood species, which matters to some people more than others. Second reason is some of it won't be dry. I also don't get in any big hurry to sell my firewood, but a lot of times, I've never advertised really firewood for sale. I just get messages, somebody knows I do it and they're looking for firewood. So I end up usually selling my firewood before it's dry. Because I get a message, hey, do you have any firewood? Say, not that's dry. They said, well, can I buy it anyway? And I give them a cheaper price. For people like me, people like you, it's a damn shame. Normally about the only things I share on my pages is my own videos of myself doing work, or occasionally I'll have a friend on YouTube or another channel that's doing the same thing in a more interesting way, and occasionally I'll share something like that on my community tab. The other day I shared that Anthony Oliver's song, The Rich Men North of Richmond, and I loved it. I love everything about it. And it's not as politically one-sided as people think. It's a good song, sharing the average person's frustration. But there's also a lot of pessimism in it. And as much as I love the song, I've been walking around singing it, I feel like this new world we're living in, we still have the ability to shelter away from it quite a bit. I don't know, there's nothing you can do about taxes, but we got a little bit of an ability to just focus on the good stuff and make some firewood and cut down a tree and plant a garden and just, you know, this field behind my house doesn't know that the world's changing. I'm kind of having a laugh as I mow this because yesterday I did the video on that mowing with a breeze, and it puts that cool air into your helmet. And the owner of the company messaged me and said, you know, what do you think of it? I said, pretty good. I really, you know, I like it enough that I recommend it. I think it's worth the money. I'm going to wear it, but I think it could use a little bit more airflow. And he, you know, said, thanks for the feedback. I come out here today and I'm like, you know, I wish I had a little more airflow. and I stopped down at the end of the first turn and took the hood off and realized the air hose had come unplugged inside of it while I was messing with it. And it was blowing air up into the hood, so it was creating that positive air pressure, but it wasn't going into the little tube that, you know, deflects the air down onto your face. So when I plug that in, it works so much better. So, and I really do recommend that. I think it's a good product. Tell everyone what we're doing, guys. Fishing. We got 2 of the 6 grandkids are here. Actually, there's a 3rd one in the house. Hey, why are you hitting me with a pole? What's that about? You're not supposed to do that. And so we got time to see if we can catch a fish. You don't put that in my face, sister. Hey, we gonna catch anything today, Zayden?
Oh yeah, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna catch a turtle.
Yeah, you probably will catch a turtle. We catch a lot of turtles out here. Catch anything good, we'll show it to you.
I caught a fish.
What'd you catch? That's a big fish on a little pole.
I got it.
Can you get him off there? Now slide your hand down his back. There you go. Now you got it. Well, this was kind of just a routine day's work out here. Nothing special, but it has given me a jump start on getting my firewood going this year. Both of these 2 totes were already partial totes that I just finished off, but already having 1 cord done is a pretty good start considering it's August and I normally don't do any firewood until the end of September. So hopefully I can have a more productive year with firewood this year. I'm considering maybe upgrading to a new splitter. We'll see how that goes. And I'm just really glad that that slab wood isn't going to waste, and the process I've set up for turning the slab wood into firewood is fairly convenient, especially if you don't let it pile up, if you take care of it that day when you mill the log. Anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.